Well, new at 6, the state's rainy day fund now has hit a record. There is nearly $300 million in the bank. And outgoing Governor Brian Sandoval, well, he is celebrating tonight because the account was at zero when he took office. Now, the big change, all thanks largely to marijuana revenue. And as 13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan explains, it is the marijuana money being set aside that is frustrating education advocates. It is all part of tonight's Raising the Bar. Brian.
Where's the marijuana money? That's the question parents and teachers have been asking for a year. When the governor said marijuana revenue is helping bolster a record rainy day fund, it's led to some strong feelings.
It's really frustrating.
That's how Amanda Morgan with Educate Nevada Now is reacting to Governor Brian Sandoval's statement touting the growth of the state's rainy day fund to nearly $300 million, adding that marijuana revenue is expected to push that number even higher.
It's great to save money, and I agree that's important, but when people voted on marijuana, I think they really thought that this was actually going to help our public school kids.
The use of tax revenue from marijuana sales has been a hot topic, with the governor saying $63 million in marijuana money was put into the state's education fund, while the Clark County School District says that money was used to offset other funding rather than add to education funding.
We've always said the money's going to go to schools and we need to get to schools, and now we know exactly how much there is and where it is.
Former state senator and incoming county commissioner Tick Segerblum says more of the marijuana money needs to go to schools instead of being set aside for a potential emergency.
When you're starving, would you rather buy food or put money in the bank? And I think our schools are starving.
Assemblywoman Maggie Carlton telling 13 Action News education funding is important. But she said while the $293 million in the rainy day fund seems like a large number, as a percentage of what would be needed in another economic downturn, it's just not that big. Segerblum said he knows there is a need for a rainy day fund, but the question remains, how much should be set aside?
I don't want to maybe go down to zero, but to me, if we took $100 million of that and put it into schools, it's not a huge amount for schools, but it's better than sitting there drawing 1% interest.
As for Morgan, she says her organization is encouraging parents to get involved in the legislative session that kicks off next month and will lay the path for the education funding for the next 2 years.
Talk to your legislators, show up and testify at session.
Of course, we're going to keep you updated on the fight over education funding in Carson City in the coming months and let you know how you can weigh in. Brian Callahan, 13 Action News.
Thank you, Brian. And we do need your help to raise the bar on education. If you have a story idea, just send us an email to raisingthebar@ktmv.com, and please be sure to include your name and your phone number.